Hello and welcome back to Bannerlord, and, well, I was actually going to say that we're going to attempt to scheme a plot or some kind of scandal against the Gunda roving clan, because obviously that is indeed Raganvad, and Raganvad is, of course, the ruler of the Sturgians, and a couple of people had the wonderful idea to basically just bleed him completely dry of any influence whatsoever, and that is basically going to make him pretty much pointless, right? Yeah, that's going to make him pretty much pointless because he's going to lose all his influence, and then he's not going to be able to do absolutely anything, which is absolutely fantastic. However, you can see here the exact reason why that probably won't work unless it works in castles, because you can see here he only has one thing under his control, and that is Mazhadan Castle. I think that that's over here. Yeah, it is. And that's basically it. So this is a bit of a weird situation to be in. Geneva, I believe. Let me actually just see. I obviously would like to kill everyone. I mean, obviously that's our goal at the moment. But apart from that, do you think I can? No. She only. Yeah. Okay. So she owns this. And what? No. Actually, the clan as a whole owns Ustakor Castle, and that is basically it. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised that they have any influence whatsoever. It feels to me like they shouldn't really have anything, but apparently they do. Anyway, is she after me right now? This might be slightly problematic if she is actually after me. Okay, we're just gonna murder a couple of, murder a couple of these guys first, real quick, just to get them out the way. And, yeah, so basically, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. My goal right now is to make it so that Sturgia is gone, basically. So that is my near future goal, and then I think that will probably be it for the series, to be honest. Now, here's the thing. I absolutely love this series, but I'm having difficulties actually coming up with goals to accomplish, because the way that the game works at the moment, it's a bit difficult to actually do that without conquering things. You know what I mean? Because obviously the main point of the game at the moment, and indeed in the native game itself, is to just take over things. You know, take over fiefs, take over land, territory, execute people, take people prisoner, ransom them, and so on and so forth. And that's pretty much it, right? However, if you restrict yourself to not doing the thing that you're supposed to do, which is, of course, to capture territory, then where does that leave you? That's the only thing that I'm kind of a little bit in two minds about at the moment. Oh, look, wait, look! There's a massive army coming over here to take care of the Sturgians from the Vlandians at the moment. Well, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so, yeah, now, amusingly enough, she has now split off into very many different armies, which I gotta say looks pretty nice to me. And, she's very confident. Look at that. That is actually fantastic for us. And wow, that's actually kind of amusing. We have 161 and she has 161. So we're going to be doing as much damage as we possibly can here. And we're actually almost at our goal. Our goal of dissolving Sturgia from the inside out. I don't know whether we have had a direct impact on that, because it hasn't really given us that much feedback in regards to that, but I can only assume with the amount of executions that we've done so far that we can basically say yes, we have actually made a pretty significant contribution to their demise, shall we say. But yeah, personally, I just really love this character, and I love the theme and all that stuff, but generally, as I say, I feel like it's very difficult to direct your objective in a suitable manner, and that has been a bit of an issue the whole way through the series, and it's only thanks to those of you in the comments, actually, that I have been able to sort of stay on the main path of, well, let's do this then. and let's do that. And, you know, many of your ideas were incorporated into the series, and I highly appreciate your assistance in that regard, because it made it, I don't know whether it did, but for you specifically, I hope that it made it a slightly more interactive experience, because that meant that your input was directly influencing what was actually happening in the series. Obviously not everyone, and I just killed one of my own guys, great. Yes, obviously not everyone. If you didn't comment, obviously, you know, there's no possibility of that, but, you know, the point is, I very much hope that it was an enjoyable series, as it's been quite a short one. It's been quite a short one. I mean, I could technically go on and on and on, and, well, I actually wouldn't mind that, because I personally find the Forbury gameplay to be extremely enjoyable, but obviously, well, it might be a bit repetitive for some people. So what we're going to do is, as I say, once Sturgia has been completely wiped off the face of the map, which I kind of feel a bit bad about, to be honest, because Sturgia is usually one of the first factions to get eliminated. So, I mean, if we hadn't started in Sturgia, then I would have probably had a much more, shall we say, not difficult time, but I think it would have been a little bit more difficult, shall we say, to eliminate whatever other faction it may have been. For example, Khuzait, Azerai, one of the empires, something like that. Vlandians, I think, would be quite easy to eliminate. I don't know, they tend to fight amongst themselves way too easily, and their loyalties and so on are all split off into various places, so it's quite easy to, you know, divide and conquer them, shall we say. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so that's basically the plan for the moment. We're just going to eliminate Sturgia. If we can do that in this particular episode, then, well, there you go. Then I will have done that. And then in the next series, I'm actually not entirely sure what we're going to do, but from what I can tell, a lot of people are very much wanting some kind of hardcore series, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, how do I make that happen? You know what I mean? Because there are many different ways for me to do it, but some of the time this results in technical difficulties, mostly to do with mods crashing the game, but those mods are basically required for those hardcore mechanics, you know what I mean? So for example, there's a mod by the name of Heroes Must Die or something along those lines, and basically what it does is it enables every single person, and you know, it flags them for death, basically. So you have the ability to control their death chances, and you can control your own death chance as well, so your character has an increased death chance, and so on and so forth. Obviously this was a mod a long time ago. I don't know whether it has been updated for this particular version, but it's just something that I thought I'd mention, because that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about when it comes to hardcore, quote-unquote. You know, because I'm not sure, as I say, how to make it hardcore otherwise. You know, if you don't have death on the table as a, shall we say, as a penalty to your own forces, and indeed yourself as well, then I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I could... actually, what about a companion-only series, but a companion-only series that does not use Distinguished Service, and one that is more to do with literally just recruiting companions. That's it. Just recruiting companions and gearing them up, and that's basically it. So just going with that, because that's obviously pretty hardcore. We're going to have death enabled, so the companions can die, and the companions are going to create some kind of legend amongst themselves as well, because we've had those kinds of, you know, moments in the past in previous series and things like that, where we have had, you know, companions like Pelisor and companions like Polmark, and they've done amazing things, you know, they've done amazing things, but obviously they were... Oh, look at this. Okay, that's cool. Your clan foiled a scheme. Your informants reported that the Togoroving clan is the author. Those bastards. Ah, yes, those bastards. Okay, yes, well, anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I'm thinking maybe something like that, where we basically don't recruit any regular units and we only recruit companions. I don't know how effective that's going to be, bear that in mind, and it's going to be very, very difficult, but I think quite a few people are looking for something like that, so I don't know. I mean, I've seen a number of people suggest, you know, more of a hardcore sort of playthrough, and I was actually intending this one to be kind of difficult, and it did start off very difficult, but it very quickly became not so much, because indeed, I personally feel like, you know, My Little Warband, it does make things a little bit easier, because you are able to customize things, and you can recruit these units from anywhere, and that makes things quite a bit easier, at least in my opinion. And yeah, so anyway, we're just going to loot this, and I believe this town next to us right here is one of the last towns available to the Sturgians, so I will be attempting to try and influence things here, and I believe I can. I mean, I have 71 villainy. I mean, really, there's not much that they can do. However, their loyalty is 62. Can I scheme a scandal? Yes. There we go. Let's try to destabilize them. No, I don't want to bribe, thank you very much. I should be able to handle myself within the keep, unless they all of a sudden spawn 20 enemies in there. That would be funny. Oh, and now there's a crash. Okay, what happened? Alright, so I tried once again, so I've tried twice now to head into Varnovopol and do the whole scheme a scandal thing, and unfortunately it looks as though there is a problem with the indoor scene. I actually have no clue why that would be the case, because it has worked before, not specifically in Varnovopol, but in a variety of other places. And so it's a little bit strange that that's happening now, but it's okay, because I'm gonna just poison the water instead. We're just gonna do that. And there we have it. Okay, so I'd like to also do the food stock shortage. Spend 13 points. Oh, that's actually really cheap. Surprisingly cheap. There we go. Okay, fantastic. And look at that. 161 defenders. Very nice to see that. This guy wants to murder us right now. Oh no, he's running. No, never mind, never mind. He actually does want to murder us, but he wants some assistance, doesn't he? Oh, he's not gonna get it. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Oh yes, you're going to get murdered now. Very good. Yes, very good indeed. Yes, these minor factions are a huge thorn in our side most of the time, and they are quite a nuisance, because whenever they are around, they basically just try to be opportunistic. And I mean, that is their job, of course. They are, you know, that is what they're supposed to do most of the time. They're supposed to, you know, pick off weakened parties and stuff like that, and yeah, it's kind of frustrating. It's kind of frustrating to see them do that, but thankfully we are now going to murder them all. And hopefully I'll be able to deal some pretty nice damage here. I seem to be doing some pretty nice damage, amazingly enough. And, but yeah, anyway, as I say, we will hopefully be able to dissolve Sturgia. Wow, we are murdering so many of these Imperial Cataphracts right now. And even if I take them off their... Oh, I'm so sorry, Bear Elite Scout. Oh dear. Oh yeah, that's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt. I mean, I can't really do much about that. I mean, apart from, you know, actually be good at using my thrown weapons and aiming. But still, there we are. These guys have some very high tier units. Have you noticed that? I'm actually kind of surprised, but they have been completely eliminated, by the way. Don't know whether you've noticed that, but yeah, they have been just completely destroyed. Oh yeah, someone asked me why I'm doing so much damage with my thrown weapons. Okay, so here's the thing. I have like, I think it's what, 310 or something along those lines. I'm actually not entirely sure how much I have in thrown weapon proficiency, but you take a look here. Yeah, I have 312 in throwing, and I also have this. Okay, so each skill point above 200 grants you a 0.5% damage increase with throwing weapons. So apart from this, I mean, you obviously, that's exponential. So if you were to increase your control skill, or my control skill in this case, a little further, then you're going to be getting even more damage out from Unstoppable Force. But what I'm also able to do, this is also a thing. This is also the reason why I'm doing so much damage with headshots. Whenever I specifically get a headshot, I'm going to do 50% more damage on top of this percentage over here. And I believe also this. Your throwing weapons deal 50% more damage to enemies with less than 50% hit points left. So imagine this, all of these percentages adding up. So let's just say that there's someone with, you know, I don't know, 40% HP, and I hit them in the head. So we have another 50%, and then on top of that we have this, which is just incredible percentage increases. And is there anything else? Is there anything else that actually gives me... Your throwing weapons gain 25% additional speed from your movement. So if I'm moving fast, then obviously that's going to make a difference to my damage. Also, projectile speed of your throwing weapons is increased by 25%. So all of these percentages are adding up and making a huge amount of damage multipliers. That's the reason why I'm doing so much damage with throwing weapons. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to it. So generally, you would be able to do the same thing. If you take the same perks and you use the same weapons, I mean, I'm using, I mean, not even any good, really. I'm using cracked javelins for the most part. And yeah, if you were to use the same exact stuff, you would be getting the same damage, pretty sure. Anyway, what I'm actually going to do is we are going to execute all of them. And, oh yeah, someone, funnily enough, mentioned, I think you asked the question, am I happy that there was a mod to disable the sound, or am I happy that other people were also annoyed by the sound? Well, actually, both. Both, because here's the thing, if there were no people that were annoyed by the sound, then there wouldn't be a mod, and then I wouldn't be happy that there was a mod, you see? So it's kind of sort of a similar situation right there. So, you know, if people were not annoyed by it, then they wouldn't be a mod, right? I mean, at least I think so. Anyway, I think what I'm actually going to do, and I might be a little bit cheeky here, but I would like to go in to Varnoverpol. But I'm kind of thinking that I would like to go over to my hideout over here. I don't know why there's a hideout so far away. I'd love to have another, well, I think the Forbury mod would probably be able to do this, but generally I would like to be able to create my own hideout on the world map, and I don't think I can do that right now. Maybe I've missed the option or something, but I don't think I can do that at the moment. But generally I would love to be able to do that, because then I could basically just, you know, set up camp somewhere relatively close by to my main, you know, sort of area of operations, and then I could just do some really cool stuff. You know, I could just literally take something, you know, do battle somewhere, and then very quickly go to my hideout, my hideout specifically, and then just sell everything, and then get right back into the action. And that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. So it would be really nice to have something like that, but obviously at the moment that is not the case. But definitely one of my favorite mods ever, the Forbury mod, really amazing. And I mean, it's actually crazy how many really good mods there are for Bannerlord, and I'm very much hoping that we are going to see more and more of these innovative solutions to various playstyles, because I mean, really, you're not able to play as a bandit in the base game. Like, you just can't. It's basically impossible, you know? I mean, if you want to do it in a suitable fashion, in other words, if you just want to, you know, if you just want to raid villages and things like that, then yeah, sure, you can do that. Yeah, go for it, you know? You can raid as many villages as you want, but that's it. That's all you can do, you know? There's nothing more, which is kind of sad, but that's the reason why the game does have modding support, I suppose, and it is going to make things much easier as time goes on to be able to have these mods available. And I can only hope that Tailworlds makes it slightly easier for the modding community to be able to keep up with the version updates as well. Because a lot of people, as I said before in past episodes, many people from the modding community have become disillusioned with that, because it is very difficult for them to continue changing all of these things to make it so that the version continues to work with the current version of the game. Anyway, there we go. Okay, so we are now going to move back to my hideout, and then I will be making my way over to Varnovopol, I think. I actually did not mean to get into a battle with that guy, but he wanted to fight me, and I was like, oh, okay, you're from a minor faction. I think he was from a minor faction at least. I don't really need to be too scared of him, so I just decided, let's do it. You know, let's go straight in there and try and eliminate him. Anyway, let's do some villainy points. 40 villainy points, very nice indeed. And maybe I'm going to have the ability to poison the well once again at Varnovopol, or do something along those lines to try and, shall we say, weaken the garrison. If it needs to be weakened again, that is. That's also something that I find quite amusing. It seems like the garrison seems to magically replenish itself all the time, and I mean, yeah, that's absolutely fine and everything, but generally, no, they haven't magically done anything this time around. Okay, that's great. So let's do 31 points to poison the water, and boom, successful sabotage. And look at that, they have 93. 93, that's fantastic. That's super nice. And now we have another perk in engineering to spend. What are we going to go for? Increased hit chance to siege engines. Damage to walls increased. I don't really care about that. But I do care about this. Your troops deal 10% more damage to shields. So I guess I will take that. Although it does require me to be a captain. I don't know whether that applies to being a party leader, or whether it is more to do with the fact that I need to join someone else's army and then lead those troops. You know, it could possibly be that way, potentially, but oh well, never mind. I'm not going to be building anything either, by the way, because I have generally found that in Sturgian towns, siege ladders are much more effective than you might expect, and siege rams and towers and things like that actually make the entire experience much more inefficient, because they are taking so long to move them to the walls. He says, as a whole bunch of our troops get eliminated by Sturgian recruits? Really? Sturgian recruit? Okay. What's actually going on here? Why are Sturgian recruits actually doing damage? Okay, yeah, these guys are making themselves into a very... Oh, you know, fighting the AI in these kinds of situations is incredibly frustrating at times, because you literally have so many of them clumped up in one place, and when they are clumped up in one place, you know how it is. One of them blocks for the other one of them parries for the other one, and when you're attempting to do damage, you basically just have all of your attacks blocked because of the way that the hitboxes are working. Obviously, you know, if you are, you know, seeing this, then obviously you know what I'm talking about. But generally, if you disagree, then you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's my experience anyway. Maybe I'm just playing it wrong, but you know, that's it grinds my gears when that happens. You know, when they're blocking for each other and all that stuff. I mean, that just means that they work well together as a team. You know, that just means that they should definitely enter the nearest tournament as a team. And they're probably going to do a very, very good job and probably achieve victory in that tournament. But there you go. That is indeed a victory for us. And I don't need to worry about anything else. There we are. Fantastic. All right. So obviously, as I have said before, I'm not going to be maintaining control of this town. And I'm going to be making my way away from here very, very quickly. And the main... Oh, what? We took all these guys prisoner? Or, wait a minute. Oh, there are 9 prisoners. I had no idea. Okay, thank you very much. I had no idea that there were 9 prisoners in Varnovopol's dungeon. Okay, that's actually hilarious. Okay, we are just gonna be executing every single one of these. There we go. This is great. There we go. Okay, I don't know what's going on here with this guy, but yeah, you can quite clearly tell that age 10. No, I don't think we will be executing a 10-year-old. Thank you very much. We're just going to make him 22, and then we will execute him. Obviously, that's still not a time for anyone to die, but still, this is war, and generally, it's a game. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, yeah, I think we're pretty much good. Yeah, I think we're pretty much good right here. I can basically just leave Varnavapol the way it is. And Sibir. Okay, let's see if we can maybe... Oh, you... Okay, this guy of the lake rats. Is he serious right now? I literally just wanted to go into the town, sir. Please do not bother me on the way to my destination. That is a very rude thing to do, sir. Oh, well, never mind. He doesn't really care. Ooh, that was a nice hit. And there's a headshot. Yeah, you see that? 2,000 damage. And that was a headshot. So 50% more damage just from that. And obviously it was, you know, it was on someone that was, you know, pretty low tier. Like the Sturgeon Woodsman, for example, they're very low tier, so you obviously are not going to do massive amounts of damage to them or anything, but it's just a wonderful, wonderful sight to see. And, oh yeah, you've also got to bear in mind that all of my javelins will penetrate shields as well, so even if they have a shield up, it's always going to hit them. That's the reason why you see me hitting so many different targets so easily, because we do have that impale skill. If I was using a different thrown weapon type, for example, thrown axes, then this would be much, much more difficult for me to accomplish. And there we have it. Not too bad. Yes, indeed. Alright. And, oh yeah, you've also got to bear in mind that the reason why I'm taking such little damage as well is because I am actually wearing some pretty decent gear. And the enemies that I'm fighting, mostly in melee, are not high tier at all. If I do fight anyone that's high tier, then I'm usually either going to kill them with a javelin, which is not going to require me to be in melee range, or I'm just going to run away until I have the opportunity to fight them in my terms, you know, on my terms, basically, you know. So that's kind of how I've decided to sort of play things here, because we are a bandit. We're not supposed to be fighting honorably, are we? Yes, at least that's what I think, anyway. Okay, so let's execute this guy. Oh yeah, also someone said I should change Bruce's height again, because apparently he's too short. So let me see what I can do here. Where is his height? Okay, oh yeah, he is actually pretty short. Look at that. He was around here. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Okay, let's just double that a little bit. And there we have it. Okay, now he's looking hopefully a little bit better, I suppose. I mean, how much that makes a difference, I have no idea, because obviously we're almost done with the series, but yeah, still. Anyway, we have a massive amount of upgrades. Look at this. Look at how many upgrades we have to spend. This is amazing. Okay, so I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to max out the amount of smugglers I have. And then I'm wondering whether we should increase anything else. Should I actually increase the gambling den? Should I increase logistics or comfort or anything like that? Maybe I should increase the comfort a little bit. Let's get these both to 7 or something. Let's increase this to 25. I mean, that's pretty crazy in itself. And we'll go for 10 and 9. There we have it. Okay, that's looking pretty nice in my opinion. And yeah, the hangout and the warehouse, you can obviously go and get things out of there. So if you want to, you can get some people out of there, and you can also get food and things like that out of the warehouse if you want to. Here's also the scheme room as well, by the way. So basically what you can do is you can scheme to, shall we say, drag someone's name through the mud, pretty much. So, for example, this guy, he has... Oh, they actually have 715 influence. Okay, let's try and see whether we can do something about that. Okay, let's My success chance is literally 1%. What? Really? Can I bribe him? I mean, there's no way that's gonna work. There's no way that's gonna work. Not in a million years. I'm sorry. There's no way that's going to work. Not ever. You know. Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know why, but my criminal network is very, well, it's not very good at the moment. I really don't know why that is, because I do have presences in basically every single town so far that we have encountered. In other words, I have presence in Revel, Varchek, Omor, Balgard, Varnovopol, Sibir, and Tyol. And I believe I also have a presence in Ortengard as well, which is obviously very far away, but still, my criminal network is not that bad, but apparently, according to the game, it doesn't really provide me with a huge amount of benefit. So, I must be missing something in the Forbury mod to make that a little bit more, should we say, applicable. Ooh, there's Raganvad himself. Hello there, sir. Okay, I think I'm going to have to fight him. He has an insane amount of combat strength, though, because he has some very high-tier units, and this is going to require me to actually be decent at fighting. But let's just say that this is kind of like a finale battle between me and Raganvad, the bandit leader that has been a constant thorn in the side of his opponent, and me, Bruce. No, no, I'm just kidding. Because obviously we are the bandit leader. Yes, a little bit of role reversal there. Anyway, let's attack and see what we can do. Maybe we're gonna be able to achieve victory. Maybe we won't. But I'm going to try my hardest here. I'm actually wondering whether I should literally just go straight on in. Literally just charge. I don't know whether that's a good idea though. Probably not. Let's try and utilize our archers in a decent manner. So let's get our infantry over here, archers over here, put them in a loose formation, put these guys into shield wall when they get a little bit closer. And we're going to tell my horse archers to just charge, because they can do their own thing. They can weaken up the opponent a little bit as time goes on, and hopefully we will not lose too many of them to the enemy's cavalry, because they have a whole bunch of them, as you can quite clearly tell. They have 50 cavalry on their side, and that is not counting the small contingent behind the infantry line. So this is going to be a little bit problematic. I really have to hit every single shot here, so I'm going to try pretty hard. Well, my thrown weapon efforts were not the best. Yes, not the best. I was actually hoping on eliminating a bunch more of their relatively high-tier units, but that doesn't seem to have paid off. So I am actually going to get off my mount here. Could you just move? Why is this horse literally refusing to move? Did you see that? That was absolutely hilarious. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up a bunch of javelins from the floor here. This is embarrassing. Can you imagine seeing the enemy leader literally walking around in the snow and just being seen, you know, picking up javelins from the snow? I mean, really, come on now. You can't really do that, can you? Anyway, I mean, I'm doing it, so I guess maybe it is a thing that people do. I don't know. But yeah, I should probably be a little bit careful here. I have 8 of them now. Oh, of course you would do damage to me just at this moment. There's a lot of them, actually. What? Why are there so many people here? Why are there so many enemies? I thought we would have had some presence here by now, but apparently we don't. Okay, so I was basically by myself getting pecked to death by all of their units. Nice. That was a good hit, if ever I saw one. Very nice indeed. Anyone else? Anyone else want a piece of me? I have a javelin. Are you ready? I almost got murdered. I actually believe this is a victory for us, amusingly enough. I'm going to be very interested to see who was able to get the most kills out of my army. I can assume it is indeed the Bear Bandit Archers. I can assume that they are going to be the main thing that will be getting kills here, because I set them up in such a way so that the infantry was providing them with the most possible support by blocking the opponent, obviously, and the Bear Bandit Archers are some of the best archers that you can get at tier 4. So that's also something to bear in mind. Anyway, we are just going to speed things up a little bit, and who's that? Oh, never mind. Raganvad himself, no less, was eliminated just there. Is that him? I have no idea, but I'm gonna just, you know, do that small little taunt, and there we are. Fantastic. He has been eliminated, so let's have a look. Yep, indeed. Bear Bandit Archers and Sea Raider Chiefs. Sea Raider Chiefs actually managed to get a decent amount of kills. I can't believe it, to be honest. There you go. You win today, you dog. Ugh, the shame of it, he says. Okay, well, there you go. Yes, indeed, the shame of it. How does it feel to lose against a person that has literally no tier 5 units? Well, I have a lot of tier 4s, but still. I think he had a pretty significant amount of tier 5s, and he had at least 60 or so cavalry, but he just completely got eliminated right there. So I'm going to be executing him right away. With the election of a new monarch and their objective complete, the Confederation of Costa Roving of Sturgia disbands. Okay, there you go. So obviously someone wanted him to abdicate, and that has now transpired. Okay, so not too bad. And could you not fight me, please? I would like to just get over to my hideout, if at all possible. And with the death of Raganvad, I'm actually wondering whether that's whether that could be considered a finale. What do you think? Do you think that could be considered a finale? Because at this point, if we can literally take on a guy that has about 300 combat strength and still achieve victory, is that a case for, well, we're too powerful now, we might as well, you know, start a new series and see what happens with that one. Maybe that would be an idea. But you can see here, I mean, yes, they have Revel and they have Sibir, but, I mean, what else do they have? Really nothing. So let me actually just do something real fast. I would like to join a faction. I'm gonna send a message to Garrios real fast. Gonna send a messenger to Garrios. And okay, so here's the thing. Because this is the final episode, apparently this is the final episode now, we are going to speak to Garrios, and I just want to... our realm should make peace. I'm going to... He doesn't want anything? Oh, 1. There we go. Make peace with the Western Empire. And I would actually like to enter your service. Oh. Oh, I should have given him more money. I should have given him more money, shouldn't I? Oh, what a huge mistake on my part. Oh well. Never mind. Instead, I actually wanted to see the kingdom screen. This is, personally, I feel like this is actually a bit of a, yeah, he's now declared war on me again, as you might expect. But yeah, anyway, personally, I feel like this is a big oversight from Tailworlds. I think you really should be able to look at the kingdom screen without being in a kingdom, even though you don't really need any of the options there. If you are independent and if you're not part of a faction in any way. But personally, I would like to see the information. I would like to see the diplomatic information. I'd like to see combat strength. I'd like to see who's at war against who and all that sort of stuff. Because let's face it, if you're independent, you're most likely going to have your own information network, and you're probably going to, well, find out these things for yourself. But as it stands at the moment, we currently do not know. I mean, we don't know how strong the Sturgians are. I don't believe I can actually find that out. I can click on their clan strengths, for example, and you can see here that the main clan has 511 clan strength, and I suppose we can also click on the various others as well, so 352 and so on and so forth, and we can kind of, well, should we say estimate that they have, I don't know, probably about 3,000 maybe combat strength or so. But I mean, they have very few territories right now as well. They only have Sibir, Takor Castle, Ov Castle, Mazadaan, Revel, and Ustakol. That is really not that very much. Especially considering if you take a look at the Crusade, for example, the Northern Empire, Vlandians, they've basically been untouched. Which is kind of weird because we've been playing for quite some time. At least I feel like I've been playing for quite some time, but maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, and indeed for this series, because it feels to me like we've explored most of the Forbury mod, and while I absolutely loved it, I think it is definitely one of the best mods ever so far, and I'd highly recommend downloading it for yourself. And by the way, if your game crashes with my mod list, you should try using it with the Butter Launcher or the Butter Loader Launcher. That will fix your crashing problems. At least it did for me. Anyway, stay tuned for the next series, which is probably going to be a kind of hardcore thing. But if you have any other suggestions or ideas, then by all means, let me know. And yeah, next series, hardcore, companions, and no regular units. I assume that's going to be kind of the thing that I'll try to do, but we'll see how it goes. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.